Ow! I just burnt myself. If you've been interested in getting into Meshtastic texting devices, these are on the 915 megahertz non-licensed for use space. They're encrypted. They do a really good job of exchanging text messages, which are really, really useful. Like, here's an example. I just sent myself a message with another device off camera. These mesh themselves, so when they're on and they can hear each other, they increase the size of this network. Well, these Heltec V3 boards, which is basically this guy with this antenna and this little plastic case, is an inexpensive way to get started. So you want to buy a couple of these. They're 26 bucks a pop on Amazon. I'll post the link in the description. The downside of these is that this is it. This is pretty much all you get in the kit. The nice thing is that these are USB-C rechargeable or power off of USB-C. And even better, they have a power plug here for attaching like a larger battery, like this 3000 milliamp hour unit. And it will charge this battery over USB-C. So we kind of just need to bring all these things together. A better battery, possibly add a GPS module, and then kind of put it into a fancy case that you'll want to actually carry it around. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to upgrade our Heltecs here with better cases, internal power, and GPS. You can skip the GPS if you want. Links for all of this stuff will be in the show notes, and thanks again for watching. So I have a couple of different options. These cases came off of printables, and they have lots of different options for the depth of the back plane, how many switches are on the sides here. This is going to be a switch for power and a switch for GPS. And the Heltec just goes in this little slot here with the SMA poking through on the top. Really, really nice. Where we're going to start though is this little guy. So this is a little micro case for the Heltec, and it assumes you have an SMA connection. There's a couple of buttons that go in here that we're going to put in, and I did have to adapt a battery. So this is a smaller 450 milliamp hour battery, not very big, because my normal 3000 milliamps won't fit in there, and these guys are a little small. This is a 280. So we're going to go with this. This is just a 450 that will slide in pretty much like that. So let's go ahead and put this together. And it's no problem just soldering on a lead to the appropriate connector. So flip this over. Here's our Heltec. Is going to fit a bit like that. But first, let's route that SMA. So the build for this is pretty straightforward. We take our SMA. It is keyed to only go in one direction here. Get that slid in. Geez. There we go. There. Okay. See, about like that. Pushed into place. Pretty easy. Let's throw our lock washer on here. All right, so I went and got the actual better tool for the job using a rat tail file and this angled half circle file. And that actually let me hog out these buttonholes a little bit, so now they actually click appropriately because they didn't before. So need to have that working correctly. In fact, this one's still sticking a little bit. No, that's not going to work. So you can route the coax pretty easily through here, and this is a small boy, so let me get tight in there. And there's a valley to kind of channel the coax around. So I'm gonna pull this out right now because we need to redo this a bit. So if you take there's a little friction holder for the board right here, and if you kind of go underneath it and lift, it'll start coming up if you need to bring it back out for whatever reason. So try not to crack the screen when you're doing this by pushing against it. But anyway, okay, so that's up. Let's pop the buttons out. Yeah, needs a little bit more work. Okay, so seeing this again, take the coax around the bottom post, but really you can leave some slack on this end, and then you're gonna run the coax in this little groove, then bring your board in and go USB-C side first into the slot here. Feed some coax back so you can get this out of the way. You can push it in a little bit easier. Get down as far as you can at an angle, right? So hold it down, and then kind of come in, line up the top because the coax, there's a notch for it, and then push it home. And it's a little, you got to be a little violent with it, but it's okay. And then take your rest of the coax and snake it around the edge like so. Okay, so now, and to your best ability, you know, get that coax way down like that. Okay, Good, so now it's out of the way. So with this board, we're pretty much done because I've already bodged up my cable here. So I'm gonna take it and we're gonna go in. Oh, there we go, okay. You can see the little light through the hole there, excellent. Okay, so now we take this and where's our back? Back is this orange guy. So it kind of just, however you can get it to fit, right? So battery connection is gonna be right there. So we'll take this. Maybe like that. Oh. Don't think that was seated all the way in. There. Pretty cool. Look at that. All right, so now to be extra secure, we can throw a screw into here, which I have a whole set of these M3 screws and nuts. These are highly recommended. A lot of 3D printed parts are going to call for these M3s, so I would also add these to your arsenal. So it calls for an M3 12 millimeter, and so that just goes in the hole here, which looks like is pretty rough. So we're gonna kind of hand thread it. Okay, we don't want to go too far. We just want to get just below the surface. Don't break through. Oh, a little bit of a bulge there. I don't like that. So using my little custom job here, we'll send high really fast. Sure, that's good enough. And it got it. So at least it's functioning. So, all right, cool. All right, so that's confidence builder number one, so we can move on to our next one. We'll put this on the charger. You're like thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, it's just gonna run until it dies. Well, not exactly. And so the Heltec does have a way to turn it off. If you hold down not the reset button, I think this is called the power button, but anyway, if you hold it down and you wait, I think it's like 5 seconds or so, we'll see, it should turn itself off. Yeah, there you go. So now you can throw this on the charger, and this could be just like your anywhere node that you use as a repeater. So if you wanted to, this is really easy to keep in a pocket. You could just throw this up somewhere high, orient it vertically, right, because it's a vertical antenna, so just sit it down like that, and this will run for maybe a couple of hours. That's not a very big battery. That's the one downside. The one that we're going to be building, though, is into this guy with the GPS and all this other fun stuff. That's going to be way more effective, and you can see it's a little bit bigger. So let's go ahead and start with that project. The good thing is these batteries are already plumbed, so we don't have a problem there. So we're going to go ahead and get our frame, as this is called, out. And we're going to free our Heltec V3 from the cheapy plastic case it came with. And you can keep these antennas if you want, but they're not that great. I prefer having the SMA connections. So it goes something like that, and it just kind of sits very nice, very easy. Okay, let's get our antenna connection. I'm waiting on a couple more Heltecs, so I've got a number of more pieces here for doing a couple more. Let's plumb the SMA. All right, so this one features switches on the side, and the switches are these guys. They line in from the back, and what they do is allow you to turn on and off the power of the unit and turn off and on and off your GPS. It's probably a step too far in most cases, as I've been told. The new Heltec system, or the new Meshtastic software, has found an incredibly efficient way to do GPS. It doesn't have to ping it very often, and so it's actually a very low draw device, even just leaving the GPS on all the time. In my custom job here, the creator of this actually said that the GPS, you just leave it on. He had the switch, but he said he's taking all the switches out because they're just not needed anymore. They're more effective if you just leave, I think that's a, anyway. He said it's more effective if you just leave the switches out. So anyway, here's my GPS device. There's our nice little GPS antenna. And believe it or not, there's a slot right there that's 3D printed onto the frame for you to put that board or that antenna, and then the board kind of lives over here like that. So you only need a bit of hookup wire to make this work, and I've got my spool of hookup wire right here to do the job. So let's run some cuts here. And it looks like from the 3D print diagram, so this is going to be your ground. Here's your 3 volt, and then 48 and 47, 48 and 47 right here are going to be to the transmit and receive data. So 48 and 47 right there. So we'll do those as well, and those line up with the transmit, receive, ground, and hot 3 volt. Okay, cool. That's easy, easy, easy. I'll save on the red because I'm actually gonna have to plumb that in a different direction, because we're gonna add the switch to it. Why not? Why not do the whole thing? So let's go ahead and get this guy set up here. Somebody told me on a video, they're like, Josh, just tin your wires, then you won't have a problem with all the folding over and twisting, blah 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 blah, and it'll go through easier. You're right. You're totally right. I should do that. I don't. I get too lazy. All right, let's tap this in real fast. Get that out of my way here. Okay, there's that guy. So this guy does have the screen on the other side, so you want to be a little bit careful how you do this one. I'm going to put a bend in it, premature bend here, and then come in at an angle. All right, now so for the red guy, let me think. Where's the? So the board's going to sit like that, and we're going to need the power to go across to the switch, and then that's going to go up to this. So this is probably long enough to do all of that, TBH, but okay. Now, with the other end of the 3 volt, either one of these is going to be fine, but we're going to go to, let's see, where's this guy? Is going to be on, is going to be down, so we'll go here. Now, just for funsies, so if it's going to come over the top like this, and it's going to be below, oh, we got plenty of space to make this work, so okay, that's fine. I can sort it out after, if I don't like the placement of where the wires are running. All right, now let's plumb this up the rest of the way. So red and black are at the bottom here. Am I looking at this? I got to flip this over. Boop. Okay. So that's your VCC ground. Yep, red's at the bottom. All right, so let's go straight to this guy. Bro. Okay. Hey! That's a good sign. All right, initial testing looks promising. The GPS board was flashing, but this unit said that there was no GPS present. So looking at the wiring again, everything is correct from that standpoint. So remember, 4847 goes to the TX and the receive, then ground, then the VCC, the 3 volt, and that goes there. So that's all mapped correctly. All right, so the next thing we have to do is we need to plumb our power, and so we're going to use one of these batteries here. And these are great. These little 3,000 milliamp hour battery. The thing that we want to do though is we want to have this also on a switch, right? So it's going to be right here for power. So we're going to have to orient this in a way that the battery will kind of like live. Ooh, that's going to be a tight fit. Uh-oh. Okay, well, maybe the back is the right side. Yeah, okay, never mind. I printed the right one, guys. I printed the right one. So I'm going to have to snip the battery right about here to mount the switch. The switch is over here. It's like that. And so we'll run that guy. So we'll cut it about in the middle. So now hypothetically, let's this has got an antenna connection. Let's plug this in. This is off. Boom. All right, and here we go. Okay, so there's the whole thing. There's the whole magic of it all. Now we just got to button this all up in the case. So let's turn it off. Done. And okay, so let's bring back our frame. The board goes in. All right, let's take our time with this, figure out how we want to do this right. So the screen is going to be like that, up. So let's unplug the battery, and we're going to go straight in. Is this the GPS? No, the GPS is over here. Doing a little heat transfer there, causing the plastic, the mounting of the switch to kind of melt into the 3D print a bit, so it holds it into place. Something like that, yeah. And then this and all just get shoved in here, kind of tidy, maybe tidy-ish. Do we have enough to get it on the other side? So this guy is gonna have to just float like that. Okay, so let's take this whole thing and flip it over. Here is our GPS board, which is gonna go like that. How long is that GPS antenna? It's pretty long. And then our Meshtastic antenna for the Heltec goes here. Got it, okay. This is gonna be a tight fit for everything, okay guys? All right, so we're gonna go with the brown faceplate here. Oh, there is a slot for the GPS, but the GPS antenna I have is too big. So that's kind of a problem. Let's clean up this flashing now. Okay, it's getting caught up on this piece of plastic. Okay, this is lithium ion, so don't get too crazy with this. This could be bad. Don't puncture battery. This just looks like a piece of plastic, so I'm just pushing it into place. I'm not gonna puncture anything. Okay, there you go. It's like pretty much all fitted. This is a kind of a fitment problem. Not a problem. It's just really tight fitting everything in here. So just keep that in mind, guys, when you look at this this build. There's a lot to cram in there. If you want to go easier and not have the GPS, then yeah, this will be a lot easier to do. The batteries work just fine. I think this is the 11mm back, which you pretty much have to use. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And I am just giving it a nut here. All right, bit of a fitment issue. It was binding on the USB-C port. So this is just the blank bottom. So this just goes on the top, the back. Moving things around a little bit. It's best if you build this, oddly enough, it's best if you build this from the faceplate facing down and then build up off of that once you kind of get all the wires routed through the frame. That seems to work a little bit better. So this is it. This is going to work now. So let's do power test. What? This is going to work now, guys. Guys, this is going to work. Guys, listen, guys. Guys. Oh, my solder came off. Oh no. That was the worst possible time for this to happen. Okay. So let's fix that. Ow! I just burnt myself. That's what I get for ooh, that was a good one.
Okay. I got my own personal injuries in this thing now too, so that means it's even more customized. That should be it. Let's test it. Perfect. Done. All right. My next one, I don't think I'm going to include the GPS. I'm just going to do the battery because I don't really need... no, I take that back. I'm going to have probably one more GPS and then one just dumb one that just has a battery. Because I got 3 of these batteries and I've got a number of the Heltecs that are coming. Maybe I'll give one of these away at Hamvention. I haven't decided yet. We'll figure something out. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Looks like there's actually a little cutout for exactly the nut to fit right there, so that makes it easy. Yeah, so just back it out a little bit. Throw the nut on top. It'll find a keyed slot kind of for it. I love that. All right, so leave this for a second because I have a much better antenna, and I have a feeling that this isn't going to work. I think this is too big. Yeah, it's too big. All right, I'm going to have to come up with a solution for this because this is a better antenna, but oh wait, it just fits. Ooh, I think I know who developed this model, and that's a winner right there. That's super cool. Dude, all right. So here's how things all look. These are my completed 2 units, the small guy and then the larger one with the GPS. I got to show you something though. So the GPS, those pins have to be plumbed within the Meshtastic app. And so here's what this looks like. So basically, when you're in the Meshtastic app, I'm assuming you're already connected. That's my node, the HRCC Go node. But you're going to click on Settings on the right-hand side here, and you scroll down a little bit to Position. And then under Position, make sure the GPS device is enabled, and then you can set the interval to 1 hour, 30 minutes, whatever. Mine's somewhere in between one of those. But then scroll down way at the bottom, Advanced GPS. Make sure you set the GPS Receive GPIO and the Transmit to 48 and 47 respectively, just like in this video, and then click Save. And then you're all set. Hey guys, that'll do it for the video. I appreciate y'all watching, and I hope this was insightful. 73.